Now, if you've seen me on the 5 or on prime time, you know I recommend that all men refrain from using straws. It's unbecoming. The way a man's lips purse, the size of the straw is just too dainty. The way your fingers clasp on it, no, come on. Straws are for women and little kids.
The work of Jesse Waters never ends. The work of looking for everything to be concerned about whether it's making him look not alpha. Like the anxiety over, do I look weak? Do I look like a little wussy? Is that making me, is this bug? Does this make me look weak? Should I be holding, no, I should really be holding it like this. That really seems more manly. Should I be holding little papers or only like leather bound books? God, they're scared of everything. And if there's one thing that we can say is true of an alpha male, it's that they care so much about what everyone thinks about everything they do. They just can't stop thinking about the way people are perceiving them. But anyway, now he's on to straws. He's worried about that, and we're gonna discuss it. But first, I wanna do a little throwback to something Waters had said only a few months ago. Let's jump to this.
Judge, and I say this with a unblemished record of heterosexuality. He looks good, and he looks hard.
Certainly doesn't use a straw. Am I right? Anyway, yeah, so many of you are probably wondering, how did we get on this? What's with the straws? Well, as you sort of saw in the B-roll there, Biden used a straw. That's the whole explanation. That's the only reason this has now become the thing that's most important to Jesse Waters. Take a look.
On Monday, I covered Joe Biden's Thanksgiving trip to Nantucket. He polar plunged, did a little Black Friday shopping with Hunter, and he called one of our correspondents stupid. And we're willing to look past that little outburst, but some things we just can't let slide. Joe Biden used a straw.
I don't understand. Jackson, can you explain to me, why are conservatives, why do they have the most shallow, fragile masculinity that has ever existed?
Straws are gay, but Trump's hot. You know what I'm saying? Like that's basically it. We got to get that on a shirt. Straws are gay, but Trump's cute. Jesse Waters just is like a professional dumb person. He just seems like somebody that's just never really worth having a conversation with because he just can't do it. And that's what he gets paid for. He's like the guy who's kind of like, relatively handsome. He's not bad looking. He's pretty good looking and he's just dumb. So it's like, oh, I love watching Jesse Waters. That's just kind of all he is. But didn't he like poke holes in his wife's tires or something? Yeah. Like he thought she was hot or something. He was like, oh, I can't let her get away. So he like slashed her tires or something. Yeah. I don't know. He's just a weirdo.
Yeah, and that was sold as a romantic gesture when he slashed your tires.
I won't let you go.
This is like that movie. And this is like Crazy Stupid Love when Ryan Gosling was telling Steve Carell, like, you can't be drinking from a straw in a bar and expecting to pick up women. I think about that way more often than I should whenever pretty much I see a man drinking from a straw. But I try not to hate because, I believe in men's rights to drink from straws. They have utility, they're practical. They're not great for the environment. They're not great for the oceans. But, if you're going to drink from a straw, drink from a straw. That's it. Like there's nothing else to this story besides because it's so ridiculous. We can analyze this to death, but that's it. He just drinking from a straw. Yeah. And I think we should acknowledge how dumb it all is.
And Obama wore a tan suit.
Oh, so yeah. And he put Dijon on a burger. Yeah. Who is that guy?
The list of things that make you weak is getting long. But anyway, before I give you my final thoughts, I do want to say that straws are insidious. They do make you weak. They make you beta. But the thing is that there is some kind of appeal to them that makes it hard for even the strongest man with an unblemished history of heterosexuality to avoid. If we could go to the final graphic of this video, you'll see that it hits everyone inevitably. Oh my God, Jesse Waters used a straw. I previously thought he was so hard, but now I don't know what to think. Can I just say, if you are a conservative guy out there, particularly a young one, you are being preyed on every moment of every day by a lot of grifters who want to talk to you about masculinity, what it means to be a man, how to get a woman, how to be strong and all that. And they will constantly tell you that women are making you weak, the modern world is making you weak, leftists are making you weak. Is there anything weaker than going through your life looking at everything and being terrified of how it's gonna make you look beta? Like if you follow the advice of people like Andrew Tate, Jesse Waters, all of these people, like how fragile and pathetic and anxious and concerned are you gonna be? You're not gonna be the Marlboro Man, a cowboy. Like you're not, that's not how they operated. How can you not see this? Have a little bit of confidence. Be a man who doesn't use a straw, or a man who does use a straw based on whether you like straws, and not because you're concerned that a woman isn't gonna marry you because you were using a piece of plastic. God, men do need help. They do need to be saved, but much of what they need to be saved from is weak-ass conservative men like Jesse Waters.
Is it not so transparent that guys who think so, we've all known people, men who are like narcissistic, or like I knew a guy who used to tell people that he was an alpha, and he was legitimately one of the most insecure people I've ever met, you know? Is that not obvious? Like, do people not, is that not known information? I feel like it should be. If it's not, that's my PSA. If they're going around telling you they're an alpha, they're definitely not, so.
Well, and two, I mean, it's just like constant self denial, pushing yourself down. Like if a woman discovers that I have emotions or that I'm actually a human being, then she'll turn and run. So I have to be someone I'm not. I have to forge myself. Like, bro, it's really not that important. You know what I'm saying? And if you were able to get it the way that you think you want it, it's not going to satisfy you the way that you think it will. You know what I'm saying? And you might be burning and itching along the way. So, life is real.
Thanks for watching. If you become a member, you get to watch all this ad-free, except for, of course, this ad. Still, hit the join button below.